What if I told you that sales isn't about selling, it's about solving problems? Most people think sales is about being pushy, aggressive, or convincing people to buy things they don't need, but that's a myth. The truth is, the best salespeople don't sell in the traditional sense. Instead, they build trust, understand their customers deeply, and confidently guide them toward the right decision. Sales is not manipulation, it's connection, persuasion, and problem solving. Whether you realize it or not, sales is one of the most valuable skills you can master. It's not just for business, it's for every part of life. Want to land your dream job? You're selling yourself in the interview. Want to convince your team to support your idea? You're selling a vision. Want to negotiate a better deal? That's sales too. When you learn how to sell the right way, you unlock opportunities, influence people, and create success in every area of your life. In this video, I'll break down a simple but powerful 3-step sales framework that works even if you have zero experience. By the end, you'll know exactly how to build trust, understand customer needs, and close deals with confidence. Let's dive in. Step 1. Build trust and rapport. The foundation of every sale. Sales is not about pushing a product or service onto someone. It's about building trust. People buy from those they trust, and without trust, even the most persuasive pitch will fail. Imagine walking into a store where the salesperson seems disinterested, rushes you through the conversation, or only talks about what they want to sell instead of listening to what you need. Would you feel comfortable making a purchase? Probably not. Now, imagine another scenario where the salesperson genuinely listens to you, asks insightful questions, and makes you feel valued. That's the power of trust in sales. It creates a connection that turns prospects into customers. At its core, trust is built on 3 psychological factors: likability, credibility, and reliability. Likability is the first impression. People naturally connect with those they feel comfortable around. This is why friendly, approachable salespeople tend to outperform those who seem robotic or overly aggressive. Credibility comes from demonstrating knowledge and expertise. When customers feel that you truly understand the product and their needs, they see you as a trusted advisor rather than just another salesperson. Reliability. The final key to trust is about consistency. Following through on promises, being transparent, and always putting the customer's best interests first. When all 3 elements align, trust is established, and sales become effortless. How to build instant rapport. Building trust starts with rapport, a sense of mutual understanding and connection between you and your potential customer. One of the fastest ways to establish rapport is through mirroring body language and tone. This technique is based on the idea that people feel more comfortable with those who reflect their own behaviors. If your customer speaks slowly and softly, mirroring that tone makes them feel at ease. If they are energetic and expressive, matching their enthusiasm creates an instant bond. However, this should never feel forced. Subtle mirroring is key to making the interaction feel natural and authentic. Beyond body language, active listening is one of the most powerful tools in sales. Too often, salespeople listen just to respond, already thinking about their next pitch before the customer is finished speaking. Instead, true active listening means being fully present, absorbing what the customer is saying, and responding with thoughtful follow-up questions. A simple but effective method is to repeat or paraphrase key points. So what I'm hearing is that you're looking for a solution that saves you time and improves efficiency. Is that correct? This not only confirms your understanding, but also makes the customer feel heard and valued. Another crucial aspect of building rapport is asking the right questions. Instead of diving straight into a sales pitch, start by uncovering the customer's true needs. Open-ended questions work best. What challenges are you currently facing with your current solution? Or what's the most important factor in your decision-making process? These types of questions encourage the customer to share valuable insights that allow you to tailor your pitch in a way that resonates with them. The more you know about their pain points, the easier it becomes to position your product as the ideal solution. The role of storytelling in sales. Once trust is established, the next step is making the sale memorable, and nothing is more powerful than storytelling. Research shows that people remember stories far more than they remember statistics or product details. That's because stories engage emotions, making the information more relatable and easier to process. Instead of listing facts about a product, craft a narrative that puts the customer in the story. The best sales stories follow a simple framework: problem, struggle, solution, transformation. First, introduce a character, a past customer or a relatable figure who faced a problem similar to the prospect's. Then describe the struggle they experienced and why it was a challenge. Next, introduce your product or service as the solution that helped them overcome the obstacle. Finally, highlight the transformation, how their life or business improved after making the decision to buy. This approach allows the customer to visualize themselves experiencing the same positive outcome, making them more likely to take action. A story of trust leading to a big sale. To illustrate the power of trust and storytelling, let's look at a real-life example. A few years ago, a car salesman named Jake had a customer, Sarah, who was hesitant about making a purchase. She had been to several dealerships and felt pressured by pushy salespeople trying to close the deal without understanding her needs. When she met Jake, something felt different. Instead of immediately pitching a car, he asked questions. What do you need most in a vehicle? And what's your biggest concern about making this decision? Sarah shared that safety was her top priority since she had 2 young children. Instead of diving into a rehearsed sales pitch, Jake used storytelling. He shared a story about another customer, a mother of 3, who had been unsure about her purchase, but eventually chose a particular model after learning about its top-tier safety features. He described how this customer later thanked him because the car's safety technology helped her avoid a major accident. This story resonated with Sarah, making her feel understood and valued. Because Jake had taken the time to build trust and show genuine concern for her needs, she felt confident in her decision and bought the car that same day. This story highlights an important truth. People don't buy products, they buy confidence in their decisions. Trust, active listening, and storytelling are what make the difference between a struggling salesperson and a highly successful one. When you focus on relationships instead of transactions, you don't just close sales, you create loyal customers who keep coming back. By mastering the art of trust and rapport, you lay the foundation for every successful sale. The next step, understanding the customer's needs so you can position your product as the perfect solution. Let's dive into that in step 2. Understand the customer's needs, selling by solving problems. Sales is not about convincing someone to buy, it's about helping them see why your solution fits their needs. The best salespeople don't push, they guide. They don't focus on what they want to sell, they focus on what the customer truly needs. The key to mastering this is understanding the customer on a deeper level, which requires asking the right questions, actively listening, and positioning your product as the answer to their specific pain points. When you make the conversation about the customer, not the sale, the decision to buy becomes natural. The art of asking the right questions. One of the biggest mistakes in sales is assuming you already know what the customer wants. Instead of making assumptions, ask questions that uncover their true needs. There are 2 types of questions in sales: open-ended and closed-ended. Closed-ended questions are yes/no questions that help gather basic information, such as are you currently using a similar product, or would you like financing options? While these are useful, they don't reveal much about the customer's deeper motivations. Open-ended questions, on the other hand, encourage the customer to share more about their situation, challenges, and goals. Questions like what's the biggest challenge you're facing with your current solution, or what would the ideal outcome look like for you, help uncover insights that will allow you to tailor your pitch in a way that resonates with them. A particularly powerful technique for getting to the root of a customer's needs is the 5 whys method. This approach involves asking why repeatedly, usually 5 times, to dig deeper into a customer's core pain points. For example, if a business owner says they need a more efficient payment processing system, you might ask, why do you need a new system? Because our current one is too slow. Why is that a problem? Because it causes delays at checkout. Why do delays matter? Because customers get frustrated and leave. Why is that a concern? Because we're losing revenue. Why is fixing this urgent? Because if we keep losing customers, it will hurt our business long term. By the 5th why, you've gone beyond the surface level issue, slow system, and uncovered the real pain point, loss of revenue. Now, instead of just selling a payment system, you're selling a solution that protects their business growth. A far more compelling reason to buy. Active listening and emotional intelligence. Asking the right questions is only half the battle. The other half is truly listening to what the customer is saying and what they're not saying. Too many salespeople listen with the intention to respond instead of listening to understand. Active listening means fully focusing on the customer, processing their words, and responding in a way that shows you genuinely care about their concerns. Verbal cues include the specific words they use, their tone, and how they describe their pain points. For example, if a customer says, "We've tried other solutions, but they just don't seem to work," that's a sign they may have trust issues with new products. This tells you that instead of just selling your product's features, you need to emphasize reliability, customer support, and success stories from similar businesses. Nonverbal cues, such as hesitation, eye contact, or body language, are just as important. If a prospect seems interested but hesitant, They might have an unspoken concern they're not voicing. This is an opportunity to address objections before they arise by saying something like, "I sense you might have some concerns. What's on your mind?" This not only puts them at ease, but also gives you valuable insight into what's stopping them from making a decision. At the heart of active listening is empathy, the ability to put yourself in the customer's shoes and genuinely understand their situation. Customers don't just want to be sold to, they want to feel heard. A simple but powerful way to show empathy is by acknowledging their concerns before jumping into solutions. Instead of saying, "Our product can fix that," say, "I completely understand why that's frustrating. I've worked with other customers who felt the same way, and here's what helped them." This small shift makes the conversation feel more personal and builds trust. Positioning your product as the solution. Once you fully understand the customer's pain points, it's time to present your product as the solution, but how you frame it makes all the difference. Many salespeople focus too much on features rather than benefits. Features describe what a product does. Benefits explain how it improves the customer's life. For example, if you're selling a high-speed blender, saying, "It has a 1,200-watt motor and stainless steel blades," focuses on features. Instead, saying, "It can blend a smoothie in 10 seconds, saving you time every morning," focuses on benefits that matter to the customer. A simple formula to use when framing your offer is feature-benefit-customer outcome. Instead of just listing features, connect them to real benefits that lead to an outcome the customer cares about. For example, feature, "Our security software has real-time threat detection." Benefit, "This means your company is protected against cyber threats instantly." Outcome, "You can run your business with peace of mind, knowing your data is safe." By linking features to tangible benefits and outcomes, you're not just selling a product, you're selling a better future for the customer. A real-life story, winning over a difficult customer, to illustrate the power of understanding customer needs. Let's look at a real-life sales success story. David, a software salesperson, was trying to close a deal with a skeptical CEO named Mark. Mark had tried similar software in the past, but had a bad experience, so he was reluctant to make another investment. Instead of jumping straight into his pitch, David started by asking open-ended questions to understand Mark's hesitations. He used the 5 whys technique to dig deeper, uncovering that Mark wasn't just worried about the software, he was worried about his team's ability to adapt to new technology. Recognizing this, David adjusted his approach. Instead of just selling the software's features, he positioned the product as a solution to Mark's deeper problem. He shared a story of another company that had similar concerns, but successfully adopted the software through his company's personalized training program. He reassured Mark that his team wouldn't be left struggling, and he even arranged for a free onboarding session. Because David took the time to listen and understand Mark's true concerns, he was able to frame his offer in a way that addressed what really mattered. The result? Mark signed the deal. This story highlights an essential sales lesson. Customers often won't tell you their real concerns up front. It's your job to dig deeper, listen actively, and position your solution in a way that speaks directly to their needs. When you shift from selling to solving, closing the deal becomes a natural outcome. Final thoughts. Sales is about service. At the heart of every sale is a simple truth. People don't buy products, they buy solutions to their problems. When you focus on understanding the customer, asking the right questions, listening with empathy, and positioning your product as the answer, sales stop feeling like persuasion and start feeling like service. The best salespeople don't push, they help. They don't convince, they connect. And when you master this, selling becomes effortless. Now that we've covered how to understand and align with customer needs, let's move to the final step, closing the sale with confidence. Step 3. Closing the sale with confidence. Sealing the deal. The moment of closing is where many salespeople stumble. They've built trust, identified the customer's needs, and presented their solution, but when it's time to ask for the sale, hesitation creeps in. The fear of rejection, uncertainty about how to proceed, or the belief that pushing for the sale might turn off the customer can create doubt. However, closing isn't about pressure, it's about helping the customer make a decision that benefits them. The best closers understand the psychology behind decision-making, know how to handle objections gracefully, and use proven techniques to guide the customer towards saying yes with confidence. The psychology of closing. One of the biggest barriers to closing is customer hesitation, which often stems from unspoken objections. Many salespeople make the mistake of waiting until the end of the conversation to address objections, but the best closers handle them before they even arise. The key is to proactively identify potential concerns and eliminate them throughout the conversation. For example, if a common objection is price, bring it up before the customer does. I know a lot of people hesitate because they think this is expensive, but when you look at the long-term savings and ROI, most of our customers find it's actually a better investment. By addressing concerns before the customer verbalizes them, you lower resistance and build confidence in the purchase. Another common hesitation is the "I need to think about it" response. This is often not about thinking, it's about fear, uncertainty, or a hidden objection they haven't voiced. Instead of accepting it at face value, dig deeper. I completely understand. What specifically do you need to think about? Is there something I haven't explained clearly? What's your biggest hesitation? Most of the time, the real objection will surface. If it's price, you can offer flexible payment plans. If it's uncertainty, you can provide case studies or testimonials. The key is to acknowledge the hesitation and help the customer move past it. Proven closing techniques. Once you've built trust and handled objections, it's time to seal the deal. The best closers don't simply ask, "Do you want to buy?" Instead, they use closing techniques that naturally lead the customer toward a yes. 1. The assumptive close. The assumptive close works by acting as if the sale is already made. This subtly influences the customer's mindset, making them feel that moving forward is the natural next step. Instead of asking, "Would you like to move forward?" say, "Would you like this in blue or black?" We can schedule the delivery for Friday or Monday, which works better. By framing the decision around logistics instead of commitment, you remove the hesitation of "should I buy?" and shift the focus to how they'll proceed. 2. The either-or close people are more likely to make a decision when given two choices instead of an open-ended question. Instead of asking, "Do you want to sign up?" try, "Would you prefer the standard package or the premium package? Do you want the 1-year plan or the 2-year plan?" This technique works because it prevents the customer from defaulting to no or delaying the decision. By giving them two options, they feel in control while still moving toward a purchase. 3. The now or never close. Sometimes people need a gentle nudge to make a decision. The now or never close creates a sense of urgency without being manipulative. Instead of forcing pressure, it presents a logical reason to act now. This promotional price is only available until the end of the week. We have limited spots left for onboarding this month. If you want to start soon, now's the best time. The key here is authenticity. If urgency is real, the close is effective. If it's artificial, it damages trust. The goal is not to pressure, but to highlight why waiting could mean missing out on something valuable. Following up like a pro. Not every sale happens immediately. Some customers need more time, but that doesn't mean they're lost. The best salespeople master the art of follow-up, staying on the customer's radar without becoming annoying. A well-executed follow-up is about adding value, not pestering. Instead of sending generic "just checking in" messages, follow up with something meaningful. "Hey name, I just came across a case study that reminded me of our conversation. Thought you'd find it helpful. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to share a quick tip that might help with their challenge. Let me know what you think." By continuing to provide useful insights, you remain top of mind without being intrusive. Studies show that 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups, but most salespeople give up after 1 or 2. Consistency is key. A powerful story. How a smart closing technique won a big client. To illustrate the power of confident closing, let's look at the story of Lisa, a corporate software salesperson. She had been working on a deal with a large company's CFO for months. He loved the product but kept stalling, saying he needed more time to decide. Lisa sensed that the real issue wasn't the software, it was his fear of making the wrong decision. Instead of pushing, Lisa used the either-or close. "I completely understand wanting to be sure. We have 2 options. You can start with a 3-month pilot program to see how it works, or we can do a full rollout with a customized onboarding plan, which would make you feel more comfortable." By reframing the decision from buy or not buy to which option is best, she took away the pressure. The CFO chose the pilot program, and within 3 months, they expanded to a full rollout. This story highlights an important lesson. Closing isn't about forcing a sale. It's about removing barriers to decision-making and helping the customer feel confident in moving forward. Final thoughts. Confidence closes deals. Closing is the most critical part of the sales process, but it shouldn't feel forced. When you master handling objections, using the right closing techniques, and following up strategically, you make the buying decision easy for the customer. The best closers aren't aggressive. They're confident. They don't push. They guide. They don't manipulate. They remove uncertainty. And most importantly, they focus on helping the customer, not just making the sale. By mastering the 3 steps of sales, building trust, understanding needs, and closing with confidence, you'll transform from an average salesperson into a sales master. Now it's time to put these techniques into action and start closing deals like a pro. Conclusion, call to action, and final takeaway. Sales is not about pushing products or convincing people to buy something they don't need. It's about trust, understanding, and confident closing. The most successful salespeople don't just sell, they build relationships, solve problems, and guide customers toward the right decision. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or even an idea, the core principles remain the same. Trust is the foundation, understanding the customer is the key, and closing with confidence makes all the difference. The great thing about sales is that it's not an inborn talent, it's a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and mastered. If you've ever doubted your ability to sell, remember every top salesperson started somewhere. The difference between struggling and succeeding isn't personality, it's knowledge, persistence, and the willingness to improve. Now it's time to take action. Apply the techniques you've learned today, start building stronger connections, ask better questions, and approach closing with confidence. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. Sales isn't about scripts or tricks, it's about genuine conversations and solving real problems. So don't just watch this video, go out and implement what you've learned. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Have you ever closed a sale using these techniques? Have you struggled with an objection and found a way to overcome it? Share your stories in the comments below. Not only will this help you reflect on your own progress, but it will also inspire and teach others in this community. I'll leave you with one final thought. The best salespeople don't sell, they help people make the right decisions. If you approach sales with this mindset, success will follow. Now go out there and master the art of sales.